I want to dive into something I found to be absolutely fascinating over the last 15 years. Why do the wealthiest and most successful people on the planet have coaches? I thought, hey, you reach the top, you got it all figured out, right? Well, not quite. Today, I'm going to answer the question for you. Why do the wealthiest and most successful people on the planet have coaches? Welcome back, this is Kevin. If this is your first time here, this is where we talk about things that matter. We're actually going to move the needle. Today we're talking about why coaching is so important to the people who are the top 0.5% of the population, not people like you and me, where I need a coach, I have a coach, I have many coaches. But why do the top people in industry and life, why do they have coaches, and what is the science behind it? That's what we're talking about today. And we got to start by clarifying what coaching is. So I think of it very simply. If you look at coaching versus therapy, therapy moves from this point in time to your past. We're overcoming things that have already happened. And coaching does the exact opposite. Coaching moves from this point in time into your future. We shape who you're gonna be, not who you are now. We're gonna take who you are now and transcend it into who you're gonna be. So that is the big distinction to make. What does a consultant do? A consultant will tell you what to do in a specific area of expertise, and a coach will help you find clarity, get unstuck, and make better decisions faster. I hope that helps clarify what we're talking about here when we talk about coaching. We're not talking about therapy, we're talking about making better decisions faster with incredible clarity as you move forward in your life and business. And here's a fun fact. The International Coaching Federation determined that 70% of people who have coaches experience improved work performance, better relationships, stronger communication skills, and just a happier existence. But here's the kicker. That same study revealed that there's a 7 times return on investment reported by the same people. And that's why coaching isn't just for athletes. It isn't just for CEOs or billionaires. It's for everyone who's trying to improve their life, improve their health, improve their relationships, or improve their business. All right, let's talk about Eric Schmidt. He's the former CEO of Google. This guy is a tech giant. And guess what? Yep, he had a coach. Schmidt publicly said that the best advice he'd ever gotten was to have a coach. Even though he resisted the idea at first because he was already a successful CEO of Google, his coach helped him see a bigger future with more clarity, and Google became, well, Google. Let's stay in tech. Let's talk about Bill Gates. Bill Gates has publicly said everyone should have a coach. He doesn't care if you're a basketball player, tennis player, CEO, janitor, hiker, whatever you are, you should have a coach. Gates believed something that I find very interesting. He believed that coaching provided you with a mirror for yourself to see you how other people see you. I find that to be completely true. As I work with my coach every other week, and one of the things that we really hone in on is how am I showing up in the world? And so I really agree with Bill Gates that a coach is a type of mirror for you. And let's face it, until you're ready to look in the mirror, you're not ready to grow. All right, last one I promise, but we got to talk about Oprah Winfrey. She is one of, if not the most influential people on the planet. And she credits her success over the years by having coaches and mentors that have helped her along. And she once proudly said, surround yourself only with people who are gonna lift you higher. And that's the whole job of a coach. The coach's job is to lift you higher. We're not fixing the past, we're fixing the future. We're making the future better and brighter and bigger and faster and all the things, and we collapse time. I like to think that people like Oprah and Bill Gates and Eric Schmidt would figure it out on their own at some point, just like I hope I would figure it out on my own at some point. But what we're really looking at coaching as is a way to collapse time and shorten the gaps between needing and having. So if you've got an organization or business that's growing and you want to shorten the gap of how long the growing pains last, probably a coach is the way to go. And one of the common thoughts that I've had, and you may be having this thought right now as we talk about billionaires and tech moguls and people like that, why is coaching so important for these high achievers? It should not surprise you to know that the answer is mindset. If you watch my previous video, you know that success is not just about strategy, tactics, or systems. Success is 80% psychology and 20% mechanics. And as these people illustrate, you can have all the strategy in the world. You can have all the resources at your disposal, everything you want at your disposal. That would be 20% of the equation. The 80% that we're looking for is making better decisions faster, embracing leadership in a different way, seeing ourselves as a positive fixture in the organization, whatever the mindset piece is. The mindset is 80% of taking those significant plans and all those resources and putting them to good use. And the big difference for me personally is that my coach helps me see opportunities and outcomes as opposed to obstacles. So while it's very easy for me to say, oh, this is too hard, or oh, what about that, or they're already doing it, I can say all those things. My coach stops that, and we track on a different way and we see the outcomes, the impact that we're making in people's lives. We see the opportunities that are on that path, and that pushes me forward. Because if all you do is look at the obstacles and the challenges, you're probably never going to do it. That's why people don't go to the gym, because they look at the gym as like pain. It hurts. I don't like it. I'm not confident enough. People are going to be looking at me and judging my body. That's why people don't go, because of the mindset. And one of the things that I've found over the last 10 years to be embarrassingly true is your level of success rarely, if ever, exceeds your level of personal growth. Life is a balance between what you create and what you allow. So while you might be focused on financial success, you might be watching this video trying to get a tip from the wealthiest people in the world, but if your relationships are failing, if your health is failing, then is that a successful life? But if you're making the money you want to make and your relationships are great and your health is doing great and you're really thriving in all these areas, is that a different picture? Yes, it's a very different picture. We all know people who have $1 million and are miserable. Why? They're not focusing on this idea of 80% psychology. They're making it 80% mechanics and 20% mindset, and that's why they feel out of control. They get all the success they want, but they don't enjoy it. And let's face it, the ultimate failure in life is when you have success without fulfillment. That's the ultimate failure. And one of the biggest objections people have when they come to me and start asking about coaching is that they think they're doing fine on their own. They're doing just great, and I hope they are. But I will say there's a huge difference between good and great. There's an even bigger difference between great and outstanding. Even the world's best athletes like Serena Williams, Michael Jordan, at their prime, at their peak, they both had coaches. And not because they were struggling. It was because they knew they had to stay on top and they needed someone to push them. They needed someone to hold the mirror up so they could see what other people saw. If you're going to improve, you've got to see what the world sees. And that's the purpose of a coach. And that's also the difference between good, great, and outstanding. The deeper you can look into that mirror, the better you're going to be. So if you think, you know what, I'm good the way I am, then I hope you're content with good, because that's where you're going to stay. But if you want someone to hold an honest, truthful mirror up so that you go from good to great to outstanding, coaching is the way to go. You have to want to hold that mirror up every week. I have to want to talk to my coach every 2 weeks and hold that mirror up and really embrace what I see in it, even if I don't like it, even if it's embarrassing, even if it hurts, even if I'm wrong. I have to hold that mirror up so that I transcend good and I embrace great, and then I transcend great and I embrace outstanding. Without that, none of that growth happens. So if this resonates with you, I want you to share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And then consider subscribing to my little channel and giving me a like, so that I'll keep making these videos. But today I really wanted to anchor in on the importance of having someone in your life, a coach or mentor, that is going to work with you from this day forward, helping you make clearer decisions faster, helping you see what your potential is, and hold that mirror up for you so that you become an outstanding leader in business and in life. And when you're ready to do that, it will be a magical experience, and you will enter the ranks of people like Eric Schmidt, Bill Gates, Oprah Winfrey, Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, all these great people that we hold on a pedestal, and we hold them on a pedestal. Why? Because they did the work, and maybe you should do the work too. Hey, thanks for watching my video. As always, this is Kevin, and I'll see you.